live.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we are live. We can start letting people in if we have people in.
Okay, go ahead and let people in. Hello, good morning, everybody. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Erica. Erica, your name sounds super familiar. Hi, Francesca. Your name sounds familiar too. Jessica. Hi, Kenan. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hi, Jessica. How are you? It's good to see you. Hi, Kenan. Oh my gosh, it's been a million years. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to see
You
you.
too. I'm glad you're here. Anybody else want to put their camera on? I love cameras on because then I get to see people and then I don't feel like I'm just talking into a dark black box by myself. So I would love your cameras on. I get it if you're like busy or whatever and you don't want to, but I would love to see you on camera. Let's start in the chat. Everybody write their name, how many kids they have, how old those children are. I'm Michelle, and I have two daughters who are 17 and 20. I can't even believe it. And I live in Los Angeles, and I've been doing this work for a very long time, 15 years. And I'm so glad you're here. Okay, great. Let's see what we've got in the chat here. Hi, Erica. 3 kids, 11, 6, and 3. Amazing. Kennan's got 2, 11, and 8. Where are you guys calling in from too? I would love to know. Anybody else want to share in the chat where they're calling in from, how many kids they have, how old they are? Hi, Jackie. Oh my gosh, everyone's here. Hi, Kathy.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you, ladies?
Thanks for the invite.
Of course. And will you guys write in the chat how many kids you have? Kathy's got twins and Jackie's got 2 boys. Can you write in the chat where you're calling from and how old your kids are? That would be amazing. Hi, Catherine's got 2 kids. Eastern Shore of Maryland. Ah, lovely. I didn't know that's where you are, Kenan. So gorgeous. Lovely. Jessica's got 2 kids, 6 and 8. Catherine's in San Diego with 2 kids, 8 and 6 also. Erica's from Connecticut. Oh, amazing. Wow, we've got Massachusetts. Tina's from Massachusetts with 3 kids, 13, 9, and 7. I would love to see your beautiful faces so I can connect with you, but I get it if you don't want to turn your camera on. Thank you, Tina. Tina's got 3 kids from Massachusetts. Lovely. So nice seeing you. Let me get this note taker out of here. Okay, great. Awesome. Hi, Jen. How are you? How many kids do you have, Jen?
I'm good. I have 2 stepsons and 2 sons. They are 8, 9, 11, and 14.
Amazing. What was the last thing you said?
And they love screens.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Yes. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, before we get started, I'll just let people filter in and write where they're from and how many kids they have, and they can just put all of that in the chat. Just before we get started, I was thinking about this today. I want to make it very clear that everything that I'm telling you today are things that I struggle with my damn self, both with my own screen use and with helping my girls navigate their screen use. And that even this morning, I felt myself, my whole business is online, right? I've got social media and I do these meetings and all this stuff. And I see myself just like losing myself in my effing phone. And I just want you to know that you're not alone, and everything we're going through is I think it's a symptom of the world we're living in right now. And just know that I struggle too. And so it's hard. So I'm going to give you my best tips and my best thinking around all of this. Amy's got 2 tween teens from Utah. Amazing. Great. Will's got a boy 9 years old from St. Louis. Jackie has twin boys that are 16 and Kathy has twin girls that are 11. I didn't know you both have twins. That's amazing. And they're sisters or sisters-in-law? Sisters. Sisters.
Sisters.
Sisters with 2 sets of twins. I love it.
Yes.
So good. All right. I'm going to go. Hi, Rachel. How are you? Would you like to put in how many kids you have and where you're calling from for everybody?
Sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you. In the chat, that'd be
It
lovely.
is.
Thank you. Okay. All right. I'm going to get started. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Michelle, and I am the founder of Peace in Parenting. And I have been doing this work for 15 years. With my oldest daughter, this all began. I love working with parents from all over and all different ages. And that's what this actual presentation is for. It's for anybody who's struggling with screen time at any age. For those of you who don't know, I'm a parent educator. I'm a certified parenting coach through Hand in Hand Parenting. I'm also a former teacher and a former high school counselor. And I have 2 teenage girls who are 17 and 20, and I can't believe how old they are. I started Peace in Parenting in 2016 because of everything I had been taught about parenting wasn't working for me. The timeouts, the punishments, the rewards, none of it was building the relationship that I wanted with my girls. And so I had tried to find something new, and I did. And Peace in Parenting has become this place where I help parents move from punishments and rewards and into something better, which is the idea of connection. So we have private coaching, we have group events, we have an online community, and we help parents parent in a way that actually works long-term, not quick wins, not tricks, not tips, but long-term relationships. So if you're interested in being part of our ongoing coaching community, you can put the word interested in the chat, and we'll get on a call and see how we can support you. I'm happy to meet with you and see how we can support you. So you can write the word interested in the chat. Okay. One quick ask before we start. I'd love you to shut down all your browser tabs. So if we're going to practice what we preach, I want you to find a quiet place if you can. I want you to put your phone face down, and I want you to commit to being here for the next 45 to 60 minutes. You'll get so much more out of this if you actually are fully present. And it's the exact thing that we're asking our kids to do, is to be present in their lives. And if we can't model it, or if we can't be it, we cannot also show them how to do it. So put a yes in the chat if you can commit to closing down everything else and just paying attention for the next 45 minutes. Okay. I don't know if I see any yeses in the chat. Where? Oh, yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Great. Okay. Before we go anywhere, I want to check where you are now. How often does screen time cause conflict in your house? A, daily. It's constant battle. B, a few times a week. C, occasionally, only when things are busy or stressed. Or D, rarely, but I want to get ahead of it. Write in the chat which one of those. A, daily. B, few times a week. C, occasionally. Or D, rarely. A, yep. I'm an A. I'm an A fighting with myself, to be really honest. Fighting with myself, a constant internal battle with my phone, which is insane. A lot of A's. You're not alone, obviously. We're all in this together. The fact that we're here means that we are already ahead of most parents, and we are already trying to do this, but we're probably trying to do it without support or a framework. So let me ask you just a few more questions and answer honestly. Are you sick of fighting with your child about electronics? Put a yes. Are you tired of them coming off the phone like complete zombies from another dimension? Write a yes. Are you sick of the constant negotiation? 5 more minutes. That becomes 45 minutes, the meltdown when you say time is up. I see a lot of yeses. If you're here, it's because you know the phone or the electronics or the computer or the iPad are a problem, or the video games. Your kid probably knows it's a problem too. And yet every single conversation about it turns into a complete war. So here's the question I want us to start with today. Why does it keep going wrong? I want to tell you something that may surprise you. The answer has almost nothing to do with the electronics themselves. Although they are addictive, there's a bigger problem. Before we get into it and go into strategies and tools, I need to share the most important idea in this entire conversation. And everything else we talk about today flows from this. The single most important thing that keeps children and adolescents safe with technology and with everything else is strong communication and a supportive relationship with their parents. That's research. Not stricter rules, not better parental controls, not taking the phone away, the relationship. And the relationship starts at 2, it also starts at 8, it starts at 12, it starts at 17. The relationship is what keeps our children safe in this world. That's not my opinion. A child who feels heard, understood, and safe with their parent is a child who makes safer choices online and everywhere else in their life. A child who trusts their parent is a child who comes to them when something goes wrong. That is the entire safety strategy. How many of you want that kind of relationship with your kids? Drop a yes in the chat. Yes, me too. I want that relationship. Thank you. I see lots of yeses. Great. I want to ask you a question that has nothing to do with your kids. Who do you take advice from? Think about this, about the people whose input you actually listen to. What makes you trust somebody? Tell me in the chat, who are those people? Who are the people that you value, that you listen to? Why do you trust them? Do those people punish you when you make a mistake? Do they scold you? Do they shame you? Do they take things away from you? Of course not. The people you're willing to be influenced by are the people who treat you with respect. They don't judge. They see you. They trust you. They treat you as capable people. Now, I want you to think about your child. Why would they be any different? Your child is not going to follow the lead of someone they experience as controlling or manipulative. They're not going to come to you when things go wrong online if they're afraid of what you'll do. They won't internalize your values around screens if every screen conversation comes wrapped in a punishment. The influence you want over your child's tech use doesn't come from control. I'm going to say that again. The influence you want over your child's tech use doesn't come from control. They will find a way around it every single time. How many people have kids who you've given them all the rules and then they sneak it, or they lie about it, or they go to a friend's house and use the electronics? How many kids find the workaround? It comes from being the kind of parent they actually want to listen to. That is a relationship question, not a rule question. You can't manage your child your way to a child who trusts you. You can't punish your way to a child who comes to you. You can't restrict your way to a child who makes good choices. Influence is what you want, and influence is earned through connection, not enforced through control. Okay, I want to tell you about my oldest daughter, Esme, because Esme was not the child who made peaceful parenting easy. She brought me to my knees. She brought me to this work. And I began my parenting journey, like many of you, using what was taught to me: control, consequences, timeouts, threats, bribes, whatever I could do to make my kids behave. And when it came to electronics, she was not having it at all. She would not turn them off. She would not follow the limits. She would not listen to me about rules, time, or the dangers of too much screen time. Sound familiar? Put a yes in the chat. So what did I do? I took the phone away as a consequence. I made her earn her screen time back. I set timers. I made strict rules. Do you think it worked? No, it only made things worse. Every time I took the phone away, she became less cooperative, less willing to listen, less likely to follow my lead on anything, because she saw every move I made as control, and she was not going to be controlled. My biggest mistake was using electronics as a punishment tool. All it did was make the electronics more precious to her. She wanted them. The scarcer it felt, the more she wanted it. She was obsessed, and she fought to get it back. I had created what I now call the scarcity trap. When something can be taken away, it becomes worth fighting for. Every time you weaponize the phone, every time you use it as a punishment, you send your child one message. The thing is so precious, it's worth having a war over. So eventually I had to change. And luckily I found hand-in-hand parenting when I learned what I learned about relationships saved the relationship I have with Esme. All the ideas I teach, everything we work on inside Peace and Parenting Community is built on what I learned in that season. And it was 2 shifts. 1, I got rid of consequences and punishments as my primary tool, or any tool at all, and I started using connection every single day. And for the first tool I ever used, the one that changed everything, was called Special Time. I have both a Special Time guide, which we can put in the chat, and I also have a Screen Time guide, which is a great resource too. Both we will put in the chat so that you can download those, both a Special Time guide and a Screen guide. Okay, let's talk about Special Time. Many of you know about it, but I want to talk about it in the, for those of you who don't, we're going to review it, and then I want to talk about it in the use around electronics. Special Time practiced every single day in relationships can move connection deeply. I've seen it with Esme, and I've seen it with hundreds of parent-child relationships inside of our community. It's super simple. There are 3 rules. It's timed, it's kid-driven, and it's one-on-one. We like to say 20 minutes. I know it sounds like a lot, but if you think about it, in the 24 hours, giving 20 undivided minutes to your child really isn't that much. But if you can't get 20, then get 10, then get 15, and get what you can. It's kid-driven, meaning your child chooses the activity, not you. You don't suggest things, you don't take them on errands, you don't make them, set the table with you. It is what they want to do, and you follow their lead. And it's one-on-one. No other kids, no other adults, no phones, no distractions. Because the message you send with your whole body is, you matter more than anything else right now to me. Special Time can only work in a consequence-free, punishment-free environment. You cannot do Special Time and then punish your child, because, and especially with devices. So if you're taking the devices away as a punishment and you're also doing Special Time, connection will never fully get working, because connection requires safety. And taking things away from a child isn't safe in the relationship. And it feels as if it's control to them. Okay. Here's why Special Time works specifically with electronics. So use Special Time as your everyday go-to connection builder, no matter what, but let's talk about it in relation to electronics. One of the biggest reasons kids are so drawn to screens is because screens give them something they may not be getting enough of anywhere else. Stimulation, a sense of control over their experience, undivided attention, dopamine hits. A child who gets daily doses of undivided, judgmental-free, child-led time with their parent has their connection cup filled up more. And a child whose cup is filled up dramatically is less likely to go looking to fill it up on a device. Now, does that mean it'll fix everything? No, but it helps tremendously. Special Time also gives you the perfect bridge to get off of screens. Instead of the cold, time's up, that blows up everything, you have something better to offer them. Do this tonight. Write this down. Pick a child, set a timer for 10 to 20 minutes. Ask them, what do you want to do? Then follow their lead. No agenda. Put your phone in another room for the full duration. Do this daily for a week, then notice what shifts. Now, you can also use special time as your transition. Instead of saying, okay, time's up, put it away. Say, oh, your iPad time is almost done. Do you want to do special time afterwards? You can pick anything you want to do. Instead of saying, you've been on that way too long, you can say, time's wrapping up. What do you want to do afterwards with me? Offer them connection. Kids crave connection with people. They actually want it more than they want their electronics if they're given enough opportunity to. Okay, can you commit to trying this tonight? Put a yes in the chat if you're going to try special time tonight and use special time as a way to get your children to transition off of their electronics. Okay. I want to share something with you that research makes really clear, and I want to be upfront about it. Our own screen time is the #1 predictor of our child's screen use. That's from the Journal of Pediatrics. Whatever we're doing on our screens, however much time we're on our screens, whatever modeling we are doing around our screens, we can expect our children to mimic it. 80% of what children learn comes from modeling, not from lectures, not from rules, not from consequences, from watching us. Children whose parents use devices heavily are significantly more likely to have elevated screen use and problematic tech habits themselves. And I am guilty of being a bad model of that. The most powerful screen time intervention you have is not what you do with your child's phone, but what you do with your phone. So let me ask you honestly, do you use your phone in front of your child? Put a yes in the chat. See some yeses. I do too. And I'm really trying really hard. That's why I do these presentations. It helps me stay on track. Have you designed any tech-free times for yourself, not just for your kids? Do you tell yourself, this is my tech-free time, I'm putting everything away? Do you watch shows or videos together with your child as a shared experience? Write a yes in the chat. Okay, good. These are good. We have good bones to start with. I want to tell you about how my house looked like. My ex-husband and I were both deep tech people. From the moment we woke up until we went to bed, there was some sort of tech running in our home. Multiple screens at once, phones at the dinner table, scrolling while the kids played next to us. And then we would turn around and say, get off your iPad. And they would look at us like, seriously? Like, you're going to be on your phone, but you're going to tell me to not even look up and tell me to get off my iPad? Are you also guilty of being on your phone in front of your child? Drop a yes in the chat. No judgment. Have you ever told your child to get off their electronics while you're sitting on yours? I've done it a million times. I see some yeses in here. You are not alone. We are not alone in this. So my ex-husband and I, we made a change. We went device-free for the parents when the kids were around. In the mornings, we checked our phones before the kids woke up, and then the phones went away until school drop-off. In the afternoons and evenings when the kids were home, devices were put away until bedtime. Does that sound terrifying to you? Put a yes in the chat if that sounds terrifying to you, that you'd have to actually put your device away from the time you wake up in the morning until you got your kids out of the house. Could you do that? It wasn't easy, I'll tell you that. I felt like I was missing something. But within a week, here's exactly what I noticed. My kids asked for their devices less. We connected and played more as a family. I felt better. I felt more present. My ex-husband did better as a parent because he was actually forced to be present. And my kids felt it. We also started watching shows and movies as a family, kid-oriented content, whatever they chose, we watched it together. It sent a message. Technology is not the enemy. I'm with you in this. I'm not policing you from outside, but I'm policing also myself. So I would like you to choose 2 daily windows when your phone is put away while your kids are at home. It could be like we did in the mornings or after school or bedtime. Charge your phone in a different room that your kids cannot see. Don't have them constantly watching you check your phone. It's reported that we check our phone over 90 times per day. Retire this. Get off your phone. How many times do I have to say it? Instead use, I'm doing phone-free time too. We're in this together. Instead of saying, scrolling on your phone while your child tries to get your attention, putting your phone face down before your child finishes their sentence, looking at them and interacting with them. If you have time, watch one show that your child wants to watch or play one game that your child wants to play with them where you're engaged in their content. Follow their lead. Don't make their content the enemy, but rather use it as a piece of connection. Okay, transitions. This is the worst one. Let's talk about the moment everyone dreads. You walk in and you say it's time to put the electronics away, and it's as if you have just canceled your child's birthday. They lose their ever-loving mind. And here's what's actually happening in that moment. When a child is deep in a screen, their brain is flooded with dopamine. Everything feels engaging and rewarding. When you say time is up, you're asking their nervous system to go from highly activated to completely quiet instantly. That is so hard. It's even hard for us. So for kids, it's impossible. A meltdown isn't defiance. It's not that they're trying to say, you know, screw you, mom, screw you, dad, I'm just going to stay on my electronics. It's that they're totally dysregulated. They can't put it down. They're absolutely connected to it in a way that's not good. And when we understand that, we stop fighting the meltdown. Instead of saying, that's it, off now, you can say, you have about 10 more minutes. Let's find a good stopping place. I say this to people a lot. People tell children they have 2 hours, or they have until 2:30, or they have until this certain time, and then they have to turn it off. But what if the show is in the middle? What if the video game is just getting started? You have to actually get involved with your child, see what they're doing, and find a good place to turn it off, because it's not fair just to click it off in the middle of something. How would you feel if that was you? Get curious about what they're watching. Engage with them. What's the show about? Who's the characters? Tell me about it. And then offer special time as the way to get off. If you turn it off now, I'll let you have extra time later. Don't use the bribe. Hey, when this is done, want to do special time? Use it as an invitation, not a threat or a bribe. Make sure you are regulated. Take one breath before you walk in the room. Your nervous system sets the tone. If you come in tense, it will be tense. Drop the shame language. You're addicted to that thing. You should be outside reading or doing something else. Instead, say, time's wrapping up. What do you want to do afterward? Offer them something to do. If you just say, turn off your electronics and go play, that's not going to work. They need to have something to do to get them off that crazy, weird high that they're on. What has worked for you in the past transitioning your child off your device? If you found something that helps, drop it in the chat and let's build on what we already know. I love special time. I love offering connection. Does anybody have any other ideas they want to put in the chat about how they get their kids off of there? What's their transition? What's your transition piece? What do you use? Anybody in this chat? Anybody have an idea? Maybe some people, how many people will try to use special time next time? Put a yes in the chat if you're going to try to use special time as your next way to get your kids off of their electronics. Yep, special time is a good one. Special time, by the way, is one of the most important things we teach inside the Peace and Parenting community. Special time is kind of the crux of our program. And if you are looking to find more connection, if you are looking to get more connected to your kid and learn all the tools of connection, please write in the chat support, and we will make sure that we get in contact with you and then we chat to you about how we can get you more support so that you are not doing this alone, because learning special time is easy, but you need accountability. You need someone to hold you accountable for doing special time every day. And if you're coming to meetings and engaging with other people, it's much easier to do the work. All right. Not all tech is created equal. A child watching a nature documentary is having a different experience than a child on TikTok. A 7-year-old playing a building game on an iPad is different from a 13-year-old on Instagram. A family watching a movie together is completely different from a child alone in their room on a device at midnight. So instead of just asking how much time, I want you to ask, what are they watching? Where are they watching it? Who are they watching it with? So ages 0 to 3, they really shouldn't be watching us on our devices. We really should be putting them away. We really should be focusing on connecting with our child and not have our face in our phone the entire time we're around them. They are absorbing it. Believe me, they are. 4 through 10, set the culture, not just the clock. Research says most parents focus entirely on how much screen time, but where, what, and who matters just as much. So co-watch, sit with them, know their shows, play their games, stay in communication. We want to portray this idea that you're not against technology. I'm in it with you, but I also want to have some oversight, and I do that by getting involved. Also at this stage, build your family's tech culture. Tech-free dinner, phones outside the bedrooms at night, times in which you're not on the phones. The earlier these are just how your family does things, the less you have to fight about it. Now the older kids, and this is the high stakes window. Jonathan Haidt's research in the anxious generation is very clear. Social media before age 14 is linked to rising rates of anxiety, depression, and poor self-image, especially in girls. Australia has become the first country to ban social media for anyone under 16, and that decision is based in evidence. My strong guidance: delay smartphones and delay social media as long as you possibly can. And more than any policy, keep the relationship close. You can't just ban social media until they're 16 and have no relationship. The relationship is what matters most. A child who trusts you will come to you when something does go wrong online. If they trust that you are not going to be upset with them, if they trust you're not going to take the phone away, if they trust that you're not going to judge any of their communications on that device. And ages 15 through 18 shift from control to conversation. By this stage, surveillance and punishment don't work. They just go underground. What does work? A culture of ongoing, open, shame-free conversation. Ask what's happening on your phone that's actually fun. Tell me about it. What are you watching? What's going on online that's stressful? Tell me what's happening in your TikTok world. Your teenager needs to know they can come to you without getting a lecture about how bad it is. That openness is their safety net. Okay, which stage are you in? 0 to 3, 4 to 8, or 4 to 10, 11 to 14, or 15 to 18? Write your stage in the chat below. What stage are you actually at? Let's see where everyone's at. 4 to 10, yep. That's like the middle of the meat of it. 4 to 10, 11, 15. Hi, Tim. 15 to 18, 11 to 14. We're all over the place. Great. I want to give you a framework that explains so much about why the current approach isn't working. It's called scarcity versus desire, and here's how it works. The scarcer you make something feel, the more your child will want it. The more they want it, the more they think about it, they obsess over it, and they fight to get it back. So every time you take the phone away as a punishment, you're increasing its scarcity. Every time you make screen time something that can be earned or removed, you tell your child, this thing is so valuable. It's worth controlling you over. And their brain responds with, you're right, I need it even more now. It's so important. 3 things that happen when you use tech as a punishment. 1, it escalates the value of the device. When it can be taken away, it becomes precious. And precious things get fought over. Number 2, it damages the relationship. Every punishment is a small withdrawal from their trust account. And the trust account is exactly what will keep your child safe online. Problem 3, it doesn't produce lasting change. And this is important. Compliance through fear ends the moment the fear ends. Your child hasn't learned anything about how to regulate their own tech use. They've learned how to wait you out. Punishments, lectures, shame, and consequences don't protect your child online. Connection and relationships do. This is not about being permissive. This is about being strategic. Limits still exist. Structure still matters. Times when we don't have the phone, experiences that are away from it, but we do it as a family. The way we deliver limits and why makes all the difference. Instead of saying, no phones until you clean your room, do your homework, etc. I'm taking it away for a week. This creates desperation. Because I said so ends the conversation and builds resentment. If you don't turn it off, I'm taking it away. That's a threat and immediately escalates the desire. Okay, you can listen to the podcast, which is really good. If you haven't listened to the podcast, I highly recommend it. Episode 375. It's called 7 Ways to Win the Electronics Battle Without Punishment, where we discuss how you can foster a healthier relationship with electronics without making them the forbidden fruit. It is in the chat, I believe. Yes, thank you. And I think it's a really good one to use as your next steps. Okay, I want to talk about something that goes beyond the daily power struggle. The fight over screen time is exhausting, but what happens when a child is online without knowing how to navigate it safely? That's a different level of concern. And the only thing that will actually protect them is your relationship with them. Again, back to connection. That's why this methodology, that's why Peace in Parenting works so well, is because connection and relationship create all the safety. Not parental controls, although those are incredible tools you should always use. They have a role, but they are not a substitute for trust. A child who's afraid of your reaction will not tell you when something bad happens online. A child who trusts you will. And this is the entire safety strategy, relationship. So how do you build that? By having ongoing open, low stakes conversations about tech, by not lecturing, by not having punishments, by doing special time, by leaning into a relationship with connection instead of consequences. A living conversation that grows with your child and a good connected relationship. That's how you keep your kids safe. I'm not here to police your phone. I want to understand your world online. You can say things like, if you ever see something that makes you uncomfortable, I promise I won't take your phone away. I just want to help. Let's make our family tech agreements together. I want your voice in this. Show me what you love on this device. I want to get into it. I want to know what you're interested in. Is there anything happening online that feels weird or not okay? And we don't need to be lecturing our children about screen time without first asking what they enjoy, first talking to them about their world. Reacting with punishment the first time they show you something uncomfortable online will never work. Let's talk about grooming. Grooming is not sudden. It's slow and intentional. And here's how groomers gain trust. They pretend to be the same age as your child. They offer advice, understanding. They offer a safe space. When your child feels unheard at home, they lean into this groomer. Groomers give gifts, game credits, gift cards, compliments, attention. They use professional positions or reputations to appear that they're trustworthy. They gradually ask for more personal information and then secrecy. They isolate a child from their friends and family. The antidote to all of this is not surveillance. I know it feels like it. If I can just see it online, if I can just see the groomer, if I can just see what's going on, that's going to help everything. But it isn't. It's something in here your child is attracted to. It's a child who feels heard, valued, connected at home, because a child who is getting what they need from you is far less vulnerable to someone online who's offered them exactly that. They want to feel heard, seen, and understood, and that's what groomers give them. But if they're getting that at home, they don't need it. Here's some practical safety tips, though. Keep social media accounts private. Location sharing off for anyone they don't know in real life. No school logos on their clothes. No home addresses anywhere. No city names and no public posts. Cameras off in public social forums. Talk about pornography before the internet introduces them to them, because silence and not talking about it won't protect them. Know what your child's watching. Get involved. Be on the screen with them. Use the parental settings. Even if they're not perfect, there's something and you should use them. And keep all accounts private. Know who your child talks to online, because their friend list should be private. Okay. We've talked about a lot here. Before we close, let me hand you 3 things you can do starting today. Not next month, but this week. Special time tonight. One child, 10 to 20 minutes, kid-driven, phone away. Do it daily for a whole week. 2, design your device-free windows for you and your kids. Phones away while kids are home. Tell your kids, make it a family thing. 3, have one real conversation, not a lecture, curiosity. Show me what you love on your device. Get in their world. Open the door to communication so it doesn't feel as if the electronics are the enemy. Okay, what are you going to do tonight? Are you going to do special time, or letter B? Are you going to do design your device-free window? Are you going to do C, have a real conversation? Or are you going to do D, all 3 things? Special time A, design your device-free windows B, have the real conversation C, or all 3 D. Which one? D. Tim's doing D, Catherine's doing B, Rachel's doing A and B, Araminta's doing A and B, Will's doing D. Yes, we love it. Great. Working on it, A's and B's, trying for all, but definitely A. Great. Thank you for those. I want to leave you with the one thing I need you to carry out of here. The phone is actually not the problem. I mean, it is and it isn't. It's here to stay. I hate to say it. And I wish it wasn't our reality. I wish there were no phones. I wish there were no iPads. I wish there were no these electronic devices, but that's not reality. The phone actually, though, is the symptom. What your child's looking for on that device, the stimulation, the attention, the sense of being seen, the feeling of having some control in the world, the entertainment, often feels like it doesn't belong to them. Those are legitimate needs. And you are the person actually that can meet some of those needs in a screen-free way that kids actually really want. You don't need to be the perfect parent. You don't need to do all of this at once. Special time tonight, device-free windows, one real conversation. That's just a starting line. But here's the truth about change. You can't do it alone. You don't do it in a single afternoon. It takes practice. You have to make connection actually the way in which you interact with your child on a daily basis. And special time is just the tip of the iceberg with connection. There are so many ways to build a connected relationship. But I find that most people need someone to hold them accountable, because when you aren't talking about it all the time and you're not held accountable, then you slide back into your old practices, and pretty soon you're taking phones away and hiding them under your bed. But the peace and parenting community, that's exactly what it's for. We're not about perfection, we're about progress. And we are about showing up for kids in a way that actually works for all of you. So comment the word support or drop your email in the chat, and I'll reach out to set up a call so I can see how we might be helpful for you. We might help you really build the connected relationship that you're looking for with your children to help keep them safe on these electronics and make them not such an important thing in their lives. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you for caring enough to show up. You know the phone is a problem, so does your kid. Now you know some things you can do about it. I'm happy to answer some questions right now. If anybody has a question, if you turn your camera on is best, because I can't see everyone that well unless they have their camera on. And then you can raise your little hand in your screen, and I can answer questions for anybody who has questions around tech or questions around connection or questions around the peace and parenting community, any of those. Yeah, Amy.
Do you have suggestions for special time for older kids? So it's not something I ever did, unfortunately, with little kids. We're coming into this late to the game, but I have an 11-year-old, soon to be 12-year-old, 14-year-old, soon to be 15-year-old, and it's my daughter, 11-year-old. That is the struggle.
Okay, great. I'm going to have Tim actually talk too, but what we like to do is called unannounced special time, where Amy, you just get into whatever your 11-year-old is into. So if it's anime, or if it's, I don't know what, if it's dance, if it's whatever it is, you get into their world and you get curious about it and have her explain everything about it. And you be like the most curious person you've ever been about that thing that they are interested in.
Okay.
And that becomes your special time. Because what 11-year-olds and teenagers don't want is for us to tell them what to do.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
if you just get alongside them, then they will follow your lead. And Tim started when your kids were how old, Tim?
My youngest was 15 years old, I think.
Yeah.
when he
And that
started
is,
this. Yeah.
how did you start your special time journey?
It was once a week when I picked her up after school. I said, hey, do you have time? Do you want to go to the coffee shop, get a coffee with me? It started out, 15, 20 minutes, she was ready to go home.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I would let her know, like, hey, I really enjoyed spending time with you. And then I'd be like, when I drop her off at school in the morning, I'd say, hey, I'd love to spend some time with you. Are you free this afternoon? And it's turned into sometimes hour and a half, almost 2 hour coffee dates. And we talk about, like Michelle was saying, she loves this Japanese anime, and that is not my jam, but I've got a whole list of all sorts of movies. I was like, what kind of movies are you into? What should I watch?
hmm
And so I've got a list on my phone of several, and it's hard. I work at it to
Yeah.
watch these movies, but
It works
I do it.
at
And
it.
then next week I come back and I'm like, hey, guess what I watched?
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
it started out really slow. And I think, having the support and coming to the meetings and talking about special time and saying it didn't work and us encouraging him to keep trying. And that's all the part of accountability and having the community to help you do it. Because Amy, it can get really discouraging if your 11-year-old is telling you every time, I don't want to hang out with you. Or
That's exactly what's going to happen today. But
it is.
yeah.
But what we know from all of our experience with all these people is that if you stick to it,
Yeah.
it will work. But it's, it's depressing and hard. And sometimes you need the support and people encouraging you to keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. No
Thanks.
problem. Yeah. Who else has a question for me? Anybody out here? Yep, Jessica.
So we don't like do any iPads or anything like that, but we do Nintendo. A lot of times they want me to play with them, and I do play with them. We've run into this before in the past, like of them requesting that I play special time on the Nintendo with them.
Okay.
What, like, I feel like it's such a,
Yeah. I think remind me their ages again.
6 and 8.
I mean, I think it's like you start there, right? You get them to buy into special time. You're like, you get on the Nintendo and you're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Tell me everything. Not only that, though, Jessica, you're going to be learning the game that they're doing. You're going to be into their world. You get to see what's happening online, what their interactions like. It's actually really good reconnaissance, to be honest.
Okay.
And then you can, use it as special time. And then hopefully if you get the buy-in around special time, what I've seen is that then it will translate to other stuff. It will start moving offline. But start there if you have to get them. We don't want to make the electronics the bad guy, right? Because when we do, then we just fight against it so badly. So lean into it for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Great question. Other questions about anything? Oh, I see one in the chat here. My 11-year-old often laments having to do special time because the odd time he will actually initiate because he knows now that I'm always game to hang out with him. Okay, wait, I'm confused. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Tell me, can you speak on it might
Yeah,
need
I just wanted to respond to that last comment about starting with her 11-year-old. Most of the time my 11-year-old rolls his eyes when I'm like, it's time to do special time. But now what happens is he'll be bored, or he'll have something he really wants to do. And now he'll come to me and say, can we do special time right now?
I love
and
it.
so I know I've instilled this idea in him that I always want to hang out with him. And I don't take it personally when he doesn't.
Yeah, but so good. Yeah. Yep. Jackie's been working too. Thank you for this comment. Jackie's been working and seeing a lot of improvement with our 16-year-old boys. Yeah. Yeah.
16.
Yeah. 16. Wait, you're on mute.
Yes, there are 16.
Yeah. And what have you noticed?
I noticed a lot of connection. They used to be in their room most of the time. And even though when I was just going and saying all those stuff that you were saying it's enough and stuff like that. And when I start talking to them what they really like to listen, and that's get to that point, that win-win situation, which I love it. And I can see there's a lot of connection. Like basically they're coming out of their room. They want to talk to me, even like when I'm going to bed. They cannot stop talking. They want to share their thoughts, what they are working on TikTok or
amazing.
anything.
They're trusting you.
Yes, they are.
Amazing.
And I'm so thankful to you guys.
Oh, we're so glad you're
highly
here.
recommended.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. You've been working really hard with those sweet boys.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you, Tim, for helping her too. Yeah.
Yes, hi, Tim. Thank you. He's awesome.
He is awesome. All right. Other questions for us? Yeah. Hi, Robin.
Hi, I'm sorry. I came in late. I'm at work. I wanted the transitional catchphrase that you wrote in that email.
The transitional catchphrase in the email? I don't know
exactly. Exact transition phase that helps stop the meltdown before it starts.
So we're talking about, I think it was special time, using special time as the transition to get off of the electronics. So we'll say, oh, time's up. Would you like to do special time? I have 20 minutes to do anything you want to do. Do you use special time?
Gotcha. How about if it's, yes, I have done that, but I mean, because they need to take a bath or have dinner, or it's already like time to do something else almost. And that's the transitional point yeah. So I guess I'm doing it too close to that.
Yeah. I mean, I think if we have to build in special time and connection time over everything else. It's more important than food and water. It's more important than bath, unfortunately. And so, but if we're skipping it today and then we skip it tomorrow and then we're skipping it Wednesday and then we're skipping it Saturday, it's like, where is it? And if we're not having it, how can we build a relationship with somebody without the connection pieces? And how can we ask them to get off their electronics if we don't have a good relationship? They will never do it. And so connection has to be the most important thing in our agenda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Tori.
Hi, I do want to apologize too, because I missed the first half. So I don't know if this was covered. I have an 8 and 11-year-old. And it's kind of weird because they're very similar in terms of their interests.
Okay.
And so I can see my oldest kind of just being annoyed. So say, for instance, I do special time with my 11-year-old. Our thing was to do restorative yoga together and like coffee.
Cute.
But then my 8-year-old is starting to get older and she's like, I want to do that. And so then my 11-year-old gets jealous and she's like, but you do that with me. And I'm thinking, I know, but your sister also likes it, So it's just, and of course there's sibling rivalry. Sorry, my dog is getting in my lap, but I'm just like, I don't even know how to handle that. I can't tell my 8-year-old, no, we can't do this because this is only what I do with my 11-year-old. So I'm like, I don't know how to make it different enough, but my 8-year-old, they just tend to have similar interests. They both like musical theater. They both like watching the same shows. And I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I don't think you have to tell your 8-year-old she can't do it. But what you might have to tell your 11-year-old is, I hear you. I understand this is really hard to share this yoga thing with your sister, and let your 11-year-old be mad about it, but let her also have her feelings and just come to her with connection, with empathy. I get it. It's really hard. I understand. She can be mad about it, but we can't also say, okay, 8-year-old, you can't do it. Like, that's probably not fair either. But I think there's a space, and this is part of what we teach in Peace and Parenting. It's this idea of listening to big feelings. And it sounds like she has some big feelings around that, which is totally normal. But it also means we can still set the limit and say, yes, you have big feelings. Yes, I'm going to listen to them. And I'm also going to do yoga with your sister.
Okay,
And
thank you.
yeah, that way
she's like, she's copying me. And I'm like, no, I think she genuinely likes it too. And so I do it separately, but still she's like, she wants something so unique for herself. So maybe I need to try to figure out like, what can we do that's, my girl won't want to do. We'll see.
Or is it just that she's, there is some sibling rivalry there, and letting her get it out and saying, she always does what I want to do. She always copies me, and let her say it and let her lament about it. Let her be angry. And maybe it'll help her process it.
That's helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Rachel.
I was curious how you feel about using screen time to facilitate sibling special time. Yeah.
I like it. Should I say that? I don't love it, but I like it because I had to use it when the kids were really young. I had to give Pia the iPad because she literally wouldn't let me be with her sister. And so I used it for a while. And then after a while, she didn't need it anymore. She really didn't. And she was able to play on her own when I did special time. But I think a matter of like setting it up, it might be helpful in some instances. If you have to use it, what a beautiful place to be using it. You're using it to get connection with your other child. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Tim.
Just a quick comment, Michelle, for everyone. If you want support, please leave your email address. I know a couple people have typed support. If you could reply with your email address or Instagram handle, we can contact you from there after this meeting is over.
Yay. Thank you. Okay, other questions? Other people have questions about electronics or, connection, special time, anything? Do I see anything nobody in the chat? Okay, well, this has been so very lovely. I so appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you for spending this time with me. Thank you for thinking about your children deeply. Thank you for putting your phone away a little bit because it helped. And thank you for letting me do this presentation because guess what? I'm gonna put my phone away this afternoon for a bunch of hours, a lot of hours. Who's with me? Who's gonna put their phone away for a few hours today? Yes, let's do it. Let's not let it eat our brains and our lives. All right, everybody. Be well. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
We can stop the live stream now.
How do I do? I forgot how to do it.